It's one of my favorite clips of all time.
So I don't know what that means.
Nobody knows what it means. That's why it's incredible.
That's why
All right.
it's so good.
Can we take the lyrics of Defying Gravity and Hold Space right now?
I think we can, yeah.
All right, Big T, pull up the lyrics to Defying Gravity.
And grab his finger.
And let's hold space. No, you're not touching my finger. You don't know where this finger's been. Welcome back to Macrodosing Nano Dose. It is Tuesday. It is November 26th. Hopefully you guys are all getting ready to go home for Thanksgiving, see family, have people over, the whole nine, eat your turkey. And if you're getting some holiday shopping done this weekend, you can pick up some touchdowns. They're on sale at DraftKings Sportsbook. They got a sale on touchdowns. An official sportsbook partner of the NFL. What else would you expect from the number one place to bet touchdowns? DraftKings has doorbuster profit boosts and bet one, get one promotions on all types of touchdown bets. Be sure to check the DraftKings Sportsbook app all weekend. You get flash deals that will have you dancing in the end zone. Grab some TDs with DraftKings Sportsbook. They're on sale from Thanksgiving through Cyber Monday. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code MACRO to opt in. Use code MACRO only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
I'm intrigued by the buy one, get one touchdown.
I'm intrigued too. Big T was doing very, very well on his touchdown bets. Made it to the finals. Lost against Mincy yesterday. It's okay. It's Mincy's world. He's hotter than lava right now.
If any of us are smart, we will bet whatever he puts his $25,000 bet on, which I heard is going to be Taysom Hill touchdown.
Yep. Big T was on the couch going heads up with Mincy yesterday, and you took Joe Mixon to score a touchdown.
Which I believe he had done in every game except one.
Yep, not a bad bet.
He had like 20 yards yesterday.
And Mincy took David Montgomery, and that hit. And
I said the whole week I was going to take David Montgomery PFT.
Listen to yourself.
I changed my mind.
Listen to your heart, Big T.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Big T. And your Tennessee Volunteers.
Well, job's not finished.
Well, you had just about every loss that you needed.
Saturday went very well, but job's not finished.
So rank the losses that happened on Saturday in terms of the best ones for you to the worst ones. Or just give me your top 3 losses. What losses helped you out the most?
In terms of like needing it to happen, Ole Miss losing to Florida and Bama losing to Oklahoma are tied. But since Ole Miss lost first, that one was like better because that was the one that we were like, all right, now we just got to do our job. But Bama going on the road to Norman, apparently not as easy as Tennessee made it look.
Right.
Scoring 3 points, their fewest since 2004. That was very satisfying. I was sending Arian every Jalen Milroe pick because he's the number one Jalen Milroe stan.
I think the truth with Jalen is somewhere in the middle. He's not as bad as he was last year, but to say that he is a top 3 pick in the NFL draft, I'm not buying that.
He's not a top 3 round pick.
Ooh, you don't think so?
I guarantee it.
You want to put a bet on that?
Yeah, sure.
I bet you Jalen will be picked in the top 3 rounds.
Let me think about it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll bet you on that. So yeah, those 2 were the main ones. A&M losing was just for funsies at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then Indiana got killed bad enough, it seems, that had those other ones not happened, they may have dropped out. So
yeah. So now what do you need to do?
Got to win.
Got to win. And who do you have next?
At Vanderbilt.
Not as easy as it seems.
I'll be there. Going to war Saturday. First Bank Stadium.
Does this concern you that you're this ready for war against Vanderbilt?
Does it? In what way?
Like in the past, you'd be like, it's Vandy.
Well, number one, they're not a bad team this year.
Right.
They've beaten Bama in that building. Texas, They gave a little bit of a scare.
Yeah.
11 a.m. kick. I mean, we're an 11-point favorite. We should win the game, but I'm terrified.
How do you feel about the Texas ain't played nobody people?
It's true.
It is true. It's also not necessarily their fault.
But it's not the other team's fault. Like, this was the thing with Indiana. Like, you can say it's not Indiana's fault they didn't play anybody, but it's not everybody else's fault either.
Yeah.
So at some point you have to beat one good team. That's all I ask. I saw there was a meme and it said, have you played 2 SEC teams with a winning record this year? and then it was all the SEC teams except Texas. It said, yes, of course, we play in the SEC. Then it was UMass. It said also yes. And then it was Texas, and it said no.
Yeah. Well, they play A&M.
Yep.
I'm glad that game's back.
Yeah, good rivalry.
Yeah. I don't like it when the rivalries go away. Winner, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, they're not going to play again.
Which is so stupid. Like,
Bedlam.
there's zero reason that you can't play. Like, Georgia and Georgia Tech play every year, Louisville and Kentucky, Clemson and South Carolina. It's very easy to do.
Yep. Make it happen. There's a couple things I want to get to today. A couple things right off the top. There's been some discussion online. The president, CEO, excuse me, not the president, the owner of X.com, the everything app, it's all happening on X. Elon Musk has been weighing in on a lot of stuff recently. We've talked about Elon quite a bit on this show throughout the years that it's been on. But yesterday it got a little personal for me. Freedom of speech has gone too far.
I'm not familiar with.
Elon Musk is disparaging the F-35. And he's saying that the F-35 is a piece of trash. He did the trash emoji for it, implying that he could do a better job building drones, et cetera, future of aviation, future of aerial warfare and aerial combat. I don't think that he's wrong in that the future of air-to-air combat is going to be like downsized and rely more on automation and drones, things like that. He's 100% right. But right now, the F-35 is taking a lot of unnecessary shit online. Everybody loves to shit on the F-35 because of how expensive it is, how expensive the program's been. And there's a ton of websites out there that like to write every single time something bad happens in like a training exercise because they know it's going to get clicks. Why is every country in the world buying the F-35 from us? Riddle me this, riddle me that.
Maybe that's the one we're willing to sell them.
Why are countries lined up to buy F-35s from
I mean,
us?
are we giving away our best planes?
Actually, we're not. There's certain versions of the F-35 that we're keeping for ourselves.
Okay, well, that's good. But it's I don't know all the ins and outs of who we're selling planes to and why, but it would stand to reason that we're not giving them our best of the best.
We're not giving it. That's correct. We're keeping the real good shit for ourselves.
Okay.
So Elon's like, yeah, you're wasting all this money on this. It could be done with drones. But he talked to me when you have a drone that flies over 10,000 feet. Okay.
So are you concerned that now he's advising the president?
A little bit, yes. So that, well, okay. My theory about what's happening with Trump and Elon and Vivek is Trump is like, yeah, I'll tell Elon that he's in charge of his little meme organization or whatever. And then he's going to come back to me with a bunch of recommendations, and I'm not going to use them.
I would say that's fairly likely.
Yeah, I'll keep Elon busy with a project, and then he's going to present his PowerPoint to me. I'll be like, thank you very much, Elon. I will take those under advisement. You've done a great service for the American people. And then just kind of kick him out and be like, all right, get this weirdo out of my office.
Did we talk about on this show? I don't think we did because it came out after the Trump campaign. Like all hated him and was ready to pin if they lost the election all on him.
On him being a weirdo, yeah.
But then they won, and so now some of the staffers were like, well, we're just stuck with this guy forever.
Yeah, which is, I can see that being the case. Elon, probably a pretty tough hang. He's obviously a smart guy. He's done very well in business for himself. I mean, the rockets that he's made, the ones that are now being caught, like reusable rockets, that's crazy. He's done some very cool stuff, and Tesla's been like an enormously successful company in terms of making money and stock prices and all that. But yeah, he's got to be a real tough hang.
I would imagine, yeah.
Real strange bird. But now he's going after the F-35, and respectfully, Elon, you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to the F-35, okay, buddy? F-35 it's by far the most advanced piece of aerial. What's the word I'm looking for? It's the most advanced piece of aerial warfare that's ever been invented. The platform is continuously expanding. Here's the thing about the F-35. You can take it as high as you want. You can fly it up to probably 60,000 feet or higher. The drones, they don't have the battery life that could give it the range that the F-35 has. You're going to have to stop to refuel or get your battery re-upped on your little tiny drones. F-35 can go, I believe it's like 900 miles. So give me a break, Elon. Okay? We're not there. We're not there yet. We'll get to the point one day where it's all done by like unmanned aircraft that go up in the air and shoot bombs, or probably more likely advanced like surface to surface missiles that are being shot, like ICBMs that are tiny, undetectable by radar, harder to shoot down. That's probably where it's going to go. But right now, the F-35, buddy, we have air dominance with the F-35 and the F-22. So you stay in your little block and you start firing your missiles back in outer space and concentrate on Mars. Let's let the adults deal with the airplanes.
Can you educate my novice mind? Why would you want to fly a plane at 60,000 feet?
Well, that's a good question, Big T, because when it gets higher up in the air, then you can go faster because the air is thinner, and you can shoot missiles that travel way further if you're up at like 50,000 feet because the air is so thin, as opposed to like if you're down at 1,000 feet and you shoot a missile, the air is so thick that it slows the missile down. It burns up all its fuel.
Got it. Thanks for letting me know.
You got it. The F-35 slander in this country, we have a real problem with it. Everyone likes to write their little articles. Oh, the F-16 shot it down in a training exercise. Yeah, well, that's because the F-35 wasn't allowed to use its full capabilities in the training exercise.
Rank your top 3 Fs.
Oh, 3 Fs.
Can be anything in the world that starts with F.
Okay, this is a tough one. Fender guitars.
Okay.
Probably number 1. Then the F-22, second. Shot down that hot air balloon. Just crushed it. And then 3 females.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, 4 football. That's my
wow.
That's my
wow.
Mount
4.
That's my Mount Rushmore of Fs.
Man. Yeah, I guess it's on
That's a pretty good Mount Rushmore off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But football 4th? Below
It's Mount Rushmore.
below females? People are asking if you're a real ball head.
I might not be. I might not be.
You're out here chasing tail, not watching ball.
Certified lover boy. So Arian's not on the show today because his internet's down. Pay your bills, Arian. So I guess we'll just talk about Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, I guess that's all you.
It's a good album. It's a very good album. So he dropped it on Friday in secret, and I was getting ready to take off on a tarmac when the album came out. What a great time for an album to drop, right? Like you download the whole thing right before you take off on a 3-hour flight. That's perfect. So I got to listen to it a few times through. It's very, very good. It's a very good album.
This is kind of related to what you just said. One of my favorite comedians in the world, Anthony Jeselnik,
Love him.
his new special comes out Tuesday, I guess today, and I'm flying home, so I have it to watch on my flight home.
That's awesome.
Which is incredible. And I saw this tour that the special is of, and I don't remember the joke, but I remember that the opening joke, I remember thinking it's one of the funniest jokes I've ever heard in my life. But I get to relive it again
Okay.
because I don't remember what it was.
All right. I want Big T to start covering jokes.
No, that's lame.
You don't want to cover jokes?
No.
A tribute band?
No, that's so lame.
So one funny thing about Kendrick Lamar dropping this album on Friday, it continues a trend. Every single time Father John Misty has dropped an album, it's been on the same day as Kendrick Lamar.
I know who that is, but why don't you tell Madeline?
Mm-hmm.
So Father John Misty, he's I don't even know how to describe the style of music that he plays. He's a singer-songwriter,
Like
folkish.
indie-ish?
Yeah. He's very, very popular. And
Real
It's weird
Love
that you would.
Baby.
It's weird that you would answer that, Madeline,
Oh,
when he's explaining to you
you
who it
didn't
is,
know.
because you said.
I
but-
just took a guess with
Yeah,
the
no,
name.
that's
she's
crazy.
right. Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah, thank
Good
you.
job,
Good
my
guess.
dog.
I'm a good guesser.
Yeah, he's a singer-songwriter. He's very talented. He's like your favorite musician's favorite musician, is a good way to put it.
Real love, baby.
So in 2012, 2015, 2017, and 2022, Father John Misty put an album out, and those are the same days that Kendrick Lamar has dropped his albums too. Like it's got to be the worst days to put out new music, is when the best rapper alive also puts out new music. And it happened this year too. He probably thought he got away with it because Kendrick didn't drop his until like later on in that day. He probably thought he was scot-free, like finally I escaped the boogeyman. And no, Kendrick, something happened. Something happened, and Kendrick Lamar has had a grudge against Father John Misty. He probably recorded that album when he saw that Father John had an album coming out.
Put it out the same day.
He's like, fuck it, he's got one coming on Friday. Okay, let's get in the lab. But Kendrick, the songs Whacked Out Murals and Reincarnated. Awesome songs. So that was our recap of it. Arian's going to come on and tell us how wrong we were about everything. And probably a lot of stuff that we missed about it. All right, Big T, on your sheet today, you have the weekly PFT TikTok trend explainer.
Yeah.
Is this a new segment?
It may need to be, because
Okay.
this week's is even more important than
Okay.
Barron Trump's suitcase. Have you seen what I sent you?
I have not watched it.
Okay,
I see the embed that you put in the email.
need you. Watch the video right now.
Okay, this is from Right Wing Princess.
Is it really?
Yeah.
The video, there's thousands of them, but
This week, people are taking the lyrics of Defying Gravity and really holding space with that and feeling power in that.
I didn't know that was happening.
I've seen it, yeah.
That's really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was happening.
I've seen it on a couple posts. I don't know how widespread, but, I am in queer media, so
Yeah.
that's my,
Okay.
it's one of my favorite clips of all time.
So I don't know what that means.
Nobody knows what it means. That's why it's incredible.
That's why
All
it's
right.
so good.
Can we take the lyrics of Defying Gravity and Hold Space right now?
I would love
I think
to.
we can. Yeah.
All right, Big T, pull up the lyrics to Defying Gravity.
And grab his finger.
And let's hold space. No, you're not touching my finger. You don't know where this finger's been.
All right. So which ones would you like to hold space with the most?
Whichever ones speak to you and make you feel powerful.
Okay. No, feel power.
Excuse
not
me.
powerful.
Okay, feel power.
I'm through accepting limits because someone says they're so. I'm holding space with that.
Okay. Are you done holding? You want to hold more space?
Well, would you like to pick maybe a
Hang
lyric
on, let me.
and hold
you didn't-
space?
I didn't get a chance. I was waiting for you to be done holding space with it, so
Well,
I could hold space with it.
I think we can hold space simultaneously.
Share the space. Now we can't hold. There's no power in sharing a whole
Maybe
space.
I can hold space. You can feel power.
Okay.
So
All right, read them again.
I mean, here you can pick one to hold power with if you'd like.
Okay. Unlimited. Together we're unlimited. Together we're the greatest team that's ever been.
Are you feeling power in that?
I feel better about the Commanders and the Steelers. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited.
Unlimited. Do you feel power? Or
I'm
do you
holding
you're
space.
holding space. I don't want to interfere with your holding space of it, so let me know when you're holding the space.
I think I'm going to continue holding space, but if you'd also like to feel power, I grant you that privilege.
Okay. Mad Dog, are you holding space or are you feeling power?
Oh, I've been holding space for about 4 days.
I think my favorite part of that clip was seeing her reaction to it, where she
Like-
looked like she was going to cry because people are holding space.
Like
I
she
didn't know
wrote the
people were doing
song.
that.
It's
Yeah.
25 years old.
When did space start becoming like a thing that people talked about?
2015.
No, I think pandemic.
No, 2015 was when they started safe spaces.
Okay.
What is a space holding? What is a space?
I
to
think
hold?
you can hold whatever space you'd like.
Right now, I'm holding a space of power.
Correct.
You are.
Okay. Right now, I'm holding a space of abundance.
Also true.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but I am.
But you are doing that.
When was the last time you held space? For me, it's been a while.
I've been holding space all weekend for the Defying Gravity lyrics.
You know what I really can't stand is when people make you feel like you're selfish for holding space.
So true.
You should be empowered to hold that space whenever so you may choose.
Yes,
And don't let people take that away from you.
exactly.
You know, yesterday, when Hank was being an asshole about the Commanders, you
Yep.
should have held space.
I should have held space to protect myself.
Yeah.
Hank is a fucking dickhead.
Because he felt the power.
Yeah.
Instead of you holding space and feeling power.
He took my space from me.
Correct.
It's disgusting what he did. People actually thought that me and Hank were like seriously mad at each other, like there was a problem with the pod. And by that I mean memes. Memes thought that. Because memes always thinks that like everything's coming to an end all the time.
Does he actually?
Yeah, he The Jets have taken that space from him.
Didn't he say or Big Cat said on the Act once, he always thinks he's like being put on a pip or something?
Yeah. We always tell memes like, Pip, if he screws up something like just even slightly, like misspells a caption, be like, memes back on the pip. And he's like, oh no. But yeah, after Hank and I recorded part of my take yesterday where I yelled at him and then he did his little troll shit, then I went back to the studio later and I was doing some research for some stats for PMT, and Hank was in a different room plugging his phone in to charge it. And Meme saw Hank sitting in a different room from the room I was in and thought that we were actually like very upset at each other and at each other's throats.
He's
and, like,
such a girl.
I know. He's like, are my parents getting divorced?
Yeah. But what Hank said was true, that before we taped PMT yesterday, Hank and I sat in the studio together in silence and didn't talk to each other because we were both kind of getting ready for the show. And usually we bullshit and like have a little conversation. But I didn't want to talk to him because I wanted to wait till the show started so we could just get it all off and say everything that we wanted to, which I think played out pretty well. I think I was able to communicate my feelings towards him taking my space, and I felt empowered by doing that.
Yeah.
I felt elevated.
Yeah.
I would just like to say preemptively, regardless of the result of Tennessee's football game on Saturday, I will be holding space and feeling power in what a great season we've had.
That's good.
Regardless of the result.
And you know what? You're entitled to do that, Big T.
Thank you.
You're entitled. No matter what people say about you, they can't take that power from you. I want to watch this again. So are other people doing this video? Or are they doing like
No,
stitches?
Everyone's just kind of like making fun of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like memes.
And the dramatic music in the background is so incredible.
Oh, I didn't know that was happening.
That's what I want.
Well, because have you seen PFT in the other press junkets from this movie that they just keep crying?
Yeah.
I've seen it on a
So,
couple
yeah.
posts. I don't know how widespread, but you know.
Yeah, and then she says, I've seen it on a couple posts.
I work in queer media.
It's one of my favorite clips ever.
They're really holding space. We're kind of underselling it right now.
Yeah.
Because
You
they're
are.
really holding space with it.
It's like something like a CEO says that just like is like business jargon.
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes no sense.
We're
Like,
circling back to
yeah,
hold
like,
space
they're
for
just,
these
like,
But that
lyrics.
at least
adding words
has a
to get-
meaning.
Right.
No,
right.
I agree. It's corporate jargon
Yep.
for like 20-year-old girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like girl bossing.
Girl bossing. Yeah. So have you guys seen Wicked?
No, not yet.
No.
I'm going this week, I think, with my mom.
I think that's a good mother-daughter
Yeah,
Thanksgiving week.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna go hold space with my mother.
That's good.
Guys, so holding space means that you are physically, mentally, and emotionally present for someone. Holding space is often referred to as providing a container for someone else's emotions and experiences. You can hold space for others during the good times as well as the bad. So actually, yesterday I should have been holding space for you.
Yeah, but also like
You should have been feeling power.
you shouldn't feel like you're obligated to hold space.
But
for
I
other people.
want to hold space.
No,
for you.
but Big T, you that's a sign of trauma. That you feel this desire that you have to hold space to be accepted and loved. You can remove that space and have your own space for yourself.
So you're holding space and in giving me permission to not hold space for you.
Correct.
Okay.
I'd like to give you
Wow.
that space.
That makes me feel
That's
power.
powerful.
And I'd like
Yeah.
I feel power too. And now we're all better.
Yeah.
That's therapy.
We should all be holding more space.
Mm-hmm. When was the last time you guys held space?
I don't know if I ever have.
Yeah.
I can't say. I might need to think about that more often.
I would love if Barstool had like a podcast that was about this type of thing. Just saying absolutely nothing and crying.
If you're holding space and I'm in queer media, who the hell's defying gravity?
Right.
What is Ariana Grande okay?
In what sense of the word?
Is she okay?
Well, in what sense of the
Think
word?
so?
Because I have opinions on.
She doesn't look like she's okay.
Are you saying her body?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I am.
Yeah.
I think I am.
She does look different.
She did go through also a public breakup and like cheating scandal.
That is true.
Well, the cheating scandal wasn't that like she was sleeping with a married guy?
Freshly separated man.
Yeah. So that's her. That's the cheating scandal that she's been going through.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, both.
Did she just mam me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get mammed by Mad Dog.
Does that make you feel power?
No.
Sorry, I was holding space. Sorry for women in my life. No, so there have been discourses around both of them, like Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, about how they look different than when they started filming this movie.
Yeah.
I'll say. I don't know necessarily what's happened.
Yeah, I don't want to judge. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that, like, I don't know if she's okay.
I just saw a TikTok too of from the Wizard of Oz, was it Judy Garland?
Yeah.
Apparently she was like put through grueling.
They
like,
almost died on
process
that
and
set.
stuff.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's a cursed role.
So I
Yeah.
wonder if it has something to do with like the pressures of the movie. I have no idea.
I
just
love
saw a
I
TikTok.
I love
a
the
curse.
idea of certain roles being cursed.
Yeah, I think also they were filming this movie for like a year or something crazy. And they all seem to have had like an emotional toll taken on them.
Yeah.
And I've also seen people that were in like theater growing up or like are in theater talk about how like it gets so competitive and all of the stuff. And then people are saying that if from their bodily changes, like people say that when people have certain things happening to them, it causes them to be more emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the crying at the press junkets all the time. So I don't know. I hope both of them are like okay, because it is a bit crazy to look at like a transformation.
Mm-hmm.
And like her voice is different now. I don't know if you've seen videos like that where like her whole voice cadence has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think Oz has taken a toll on.
Yeah. So I'm looking
These
it up right
women.
now. Apparently, Oz is it's like a cursed cinematic universe,
Yeah.
and other cursed roles include Superman. Whoever has played Superman has had bad things happen to them. Whoever played John Connor from Terminator movies, bad things happen to them.
Madden cover.
Madden curse, Sports
yeah.
Illustrated
Yeah.
cover curse.
There's an SI curse.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, well, that's when they still had the magazine.
I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
That's what I wanted.
Oh,
Holding space for the curse.
Holding space for the Sports Illustrated covers.
What's a song you hold space for? The lyrics.
Pony.
Love that.
Pony by Genuine. I think it's in an Applebee's commercial now, or some like TGI Fridays. It's like one of the chain restaurants, and it kicks in. There's like quesadillas being tossed around on screen. It's just like boom, 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 and I start thinking to myself like, am I getting horny for boneless buffalo wings right now? What's going on?
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Jesus is also a cursed role,
Really?
ironically. Yeah, didn't the guy that played Jesus in Passion of the Christ, he got struck by lightning twice?
Really?
Yeah. Jim Caviezel?
I have no idea.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. He got struck by lightning. I guess the set got struck by lightning twice. And the second time it hit the set, it hit him. And he got hypothermia from it.
Oh no.
Wait, he got hypothermia from lightning?
I guess just from being outside in the cold and the rain. Then there's the role of Ignatius J. Riley. Did you guys ever read Confederacy of Dunces?
No.
Never heard of it.
You should read it, Big T. Great book.
Confederacy what?
A Confederacy of Dunces.
A confederacy of.
It doesn't mean like the South is all stupid people, even though it is set in New Orleans. But it's about like a group of dunces. It's taken from the line of a poem, I think. But it's been tried. They've tried to turn it into a movie for the last like 30 years, and they've never gotten it done because the people that they had tied to play the main role, who's an iconic character, it was like John Candy, John Belushi, Chris Farley. They were all supposed to do it. And then I think Nick Offerman might have played it in like a play and like a theater production of it.
I told ChatGPT to summarize a confederacy of dunces.
Okay.
And it says this content may violate our usage policies.
You can't get Spark Notes on ChatGPT.
No, you can. I've done it. Like if you say summarize, I don't know, name a book.
Summarize.
Tuck Everlasting.
Good one. Oh, wow. What is it about Confederacy dunces that makes it
I don't know.
violate
What
the usage policy?
You tell me.
I mean, it's about a fat guy in New Orleans who's very, very like IQ smart, very, very dumb in terms of every other part of his life, and just like the most unique characters that you've ever seen in a book. That's the best way I can describe it. They get themselves. There's hijinks. It's a big hijinks book.
Tomfoolery, even?
Tomfoolery, yeah, for sure. But yeah, Big T, thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome. I hope it helps you hold space and feel power.
I didn't know that people were doing that, but now that I know that they're doing that,
yeah,
it's very touching. What else do we want to talk about today? Going into Thanksgiving week. Traveling. You guys traveling?
Yeah. I'm out here.
Airports they've been a nightmare recently.
What time do you eat on Thanksgiving?
So we'll talk to Brandon Walker about this because I know he's very passionate about this. We will have a sit down with Brandon Walker coming on. Is that coming out Friday?
Friday.
Coming out on Friday. I personally am a fan of the like 2:30, 3 p.m. food because you snack. You have like a gradual snack starting at 9:30, 10, whenever you wake up as you're making the stuff for Thanksgiving. Preparing things to set out. You graze. You eat like the cubes of rustically pulled apart cheese. You eat a lot of cheese, a lot of crackers, a lot of grapes, a lot of hummuses, a lot of bread with dips and spreads. Get a little bit drunk. Start watching the Lions historically lose on Thanksgiving, but they've been really good. So now we watch the Lions maybe win on Thanksgiving. And you get a little bit drunk. Then you get the turkey done. Then you sit down at the table at about 2:33. Eat a big-ass meal, get a little bit more drunk, and then after that's done, you play your games or whatever with your family, and then you go back for leftovers at about 6 p.m.
I'm curious to talk to Brandon about, because when we were in New York, and obviously now everybody's here, everybody talks about drinking on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's nuts to me.
You don't drink at all? No wine?
I'd never heard of that until moving to the Northeast. So I'm curious to see if Brandon says the same thing.
Wow.
Like if you tried to drink at my family's Thanksgiving, I can't even fathom what would happen.
There's no wine?
No.
Huh. That might be a personal thing, Big T.
Yeah.
I'm curious if what Brandon says.
So I'm from the South, Northern Virginia.
You are not.
And we always had wine on Thanksgiving. Wine and beer.
You're from Washington, D.C.
I'm from Virginia, capital of the Confederacy.
Right.
Is there a reason you don't drink on Thanksgiving, or it's just like you've never done it?
No, like I just think nobody in my family would ever allow that.
Because they don't want to, or?
I think it's like a religious thing.
Oh.
Might be.
So
Interesting.
My mom's side of the
Didn't know
family,
that.
though, they're from North Carolina, and I'd hang out with my grandparents and cousins and stuff down there, and they would have wine. Do you think North Carolina's the South?
most of it.
Okay. Where does the South start?
In which direction? The South is
What's the northernmost part of the South?
Tennessee.
Which is also North Carolina.
Correct.
Same latitude, right?
Correct, but I'm excluding Kentucky.
Kentucky's not the South.
No, it's basically Cincinnati.
What is Kentucky? Midwest?
Well, we've done this before. I believe I put it in my Mid-East region.
Okay. Yeah, we have done this because I think I said Western Pennsylvania was the South.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah. Maine is the South.
Those are Appalachia,
Yeah, Maine's the South.
which are not the same as
Country.
the South.
They're country.
To an extent.
Yeah. Although there are parts of Virginia that are without a doubt the South. Without a doubt the South.
Virginia, yes.
But not northern.
Correct.
I disagree. I love pissing people off though when I tell them Northern Virginia's the South. It is not the South. All right. Well, we got some questions coming up with our good friend, the Wonton Don. Okay, time for some Q&A, maybe even some voicemails. Who knows? But we've got Donnie, the Wonton Don, in studio with us. Listen to him on the Drop a Pin podcast.
Yep.
It seems like a great show. Seems like you and Chaps are having fun with that.
Yeah, we're having a blast. We just had on Tyler, who I think made an appearance on this show once, but he rode across the Arctic Ocean, and so we dove deep into that, as well as his experience running ultra marathons in the Sahara Desert.
Didn't he climb Mount Everest too?
Yeah, he also climbed Mount Everest, but that's just an afterthought. We already talked about
Didn't
that.
he like run across Antarctica or something?
No, so him and like a group of people tried rowing from Norway to Iceland.
Wow.
In a self-propelled boat. And yeah, their like fuel cell broke or something. So then they were like, oh shit, like the fuel cell is like how we navigate and everything like that. Like we just need to get to dry land or we're going to die. And so they made it to this other Norwegian outpost called Jan Mayen. And if they had missed that, it's like a small little speck in the Atlantic. If they had missed that, they probably would have died.
Holy shit.
That's insane.
That is wild. And the ultramarathon stuff is crazy too. Those people are psychos.
Yeah.
You can go like 50, 100 miles sometimes.
Yeah, he was in the Sahara Desert and they would run 20 miles a day or 25 a day and then wake up and do it again.
Jesus.
It's just like camp in the desert at night. That doesn't like some crazy adventures sound fun to me. That doesn't sound fun.
No, that sounds exhausting.
Oh, yeah. Exhausting, painful.
Yeah, there's no fun in that. The fun is being done with it.
Mm-hmm.
The fun is like, that part would probably be a pretty good rush where you're like, thank God I don't have to do this again.
I think people do crazy challenges like that is because then when they go back to normal life, nothing can overwhelm them and nothing seems too hard.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure there are some days doing Part of My Take, you're like, oh shit, tomorrow I got to do like 2 interviews.
Yeah.
I got to do like record all this. It's a Sunday night. But then like after running like 5 marathons in the Sahara, you're like, oh, this shit sounds easy.
No, podcasting's always hard. That's always going to be hard.
Okay.
That's harder than doing a ultra marathon. But yeah, listen to Drop a Pen. And then Donnie's going to Turkey.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see what happens with that. We've got a good crew going from the office here to get their transplants. And Donnie, what you're doing is it's kind of sick. You're going to be following a bunch of guys getting hair transplants and just like showing them around.
Yeah.
But you're not getting a hair transplant yourself.
No, I'm just the tour guide and like they can't drink because you're not supposed to drink before or after, but I'm just going to be partying it up in Istanbul.
So they told me that I wasn't allowed to drink for, I think, a week beforehand. Is that the same thing with these guys?
Yeah, I think that's what they've been told. I don't know if they're all going to abide by that.
Because you bleed. It's like alcohol is a blood thinner.
Yeah.
And so you could bleed profusely if you drink alcohol, I guess.
I mean, I will make sure no one's drinking the night before, 2 nights before.
Yeah.
They got to try some Turkish raka.
They do. And also Thanksgiving is right before.
Yeah.
Might have some wine for Thanksgiving.
Oh, I mean, they're all going to be drinking like when they're back home for the holidays.
Yeah. You think Nikki Smokes is taking a full week off drinking?
Yeah, he's not. I talked to him upstairs.
Particularly on Blackout Wednesday.
Yeah, he was like, no. He's like, I can celebrate Blackout Wednesday. Like, I'm not getting a transplant until the 2nd.
I never understood Blackout Wednesday. I think that it should be you go out to the bar on that Friday after Thanksgiving. Because Blackout Wednesday, you go out, you party, and then the next day it's Thanksgiving, all your family's around, you're just hungover the whole time.
Yeah, you're right. It's not enjoyable. That is weird how it's always that. I mean, that's just like the moment that Wednesday is when like everybody gets back into town and they want to see each other.
Yeah.
But I think Friday would work better because it's tough being around family brutally hungover.
Yeah, you're sweating.
I had an issue last year.
Did you?
Well, so somehow the last like 10 years, maybe, I don't know if the Preds ask for this, request it, but they have a home game the night before Thanksgiving, like every year. So my friends and I usually go. So last year we went to the Preds game and I just kept drinking high noons and they were the 24 ouncers. I probably had 4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah.
And the Thanksgiving, I was in a bad spot. It was probably the worst I'd ever been up until San Diego.
Did you drink them out of the catfish?
No, I don't know that appeals to me.
You're not a true Southerner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But usually on Thanksgiving, you're allowed to start drinking pretty early.
You
again.
are.
Little hair of the dog.
Yeah, you have maybe some wine as your first drink while you're doing some prep work.
Yeah.
Getting the cheeses, the meats all sliced up. It's a great day.
But I would like you on Drop a Pin. I think Biz Nasty, we did a trip to Tennessee, and he's going to be in town for the Winter Classic. So we were going to have him on for the Tennessee episode. But I think you and him.
I would love to talk to him about that.
That'd be a good combo.
Yes.
Donnie texted me when they were there and said this is the most beautiful place ever.
It is great.
I said it's beautiful. I didn't say it's the most beautiful place ever.
I don't remember verbatim,
Okay,
but it
yeah.
is.
Yeah, I mean, Eastern Tennessee, I was very impressed.
I was not impressed with Biz's conduct at the breakfast place. With his
Yeah,
ordering.
he was being a bit of a diva with that order. But Biz is a great hiker. The hiking, I mean, Gatlinburg and the town of Pigeon Forge are like extremely trashy and corny.
Redneck Disney World.
Redneck Disney World, Myrtle Beach of the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a great place for content. But then when we got into the Smoky Mountains, we climbed the tallest mountain in the Smokies, Mount LeConte. Just stunningly beautiful. And friendly people.
Great
For
place.
sure.
Great place. All right, let's do some questions. Mad Dog, who are we intercepting questions from this week?
Today we are intercepting questions from the Stiff Socks podcast.
What's that?
Oh.
It's Trevor Wallace, the comedian,
Okay.
and I don't know his co-host's name, which is on me, but it's Trevor Wallace's podcast.
The Stiff Socks
Okay.
podcast.
I was thinking of Trevor Noah at first. I was like,
Yeah.
he does the
No.
Stiff Socks podcast.
They're all questions from Tommy Lauren.
Yeah.
No, but there is another. Oh wait, no, sorry. I thought Tommy Lauren was a porn star for a second. It's that political girl. Never
Yep.
mind. But yeah,
We're all over the place. Here.
Stiff Socks podcast.
the Stiff Socks
Yeah.
podcast. Okay, what is the best way to hit on a girl at the gym?
Oh, good question. Actually, terrible question. This is an awful question. You go up to them when they're on the treadmill, and then you point at your ears, and you tell them to take their earbuds out. Then you strike up a conversation. They love that.
Yeah.
Women love that.
Mm-hmm.
No, you just don't really.
Yeah. I never have. I'll just like awkwardly try to sneak a glance at them and then hope like that she comes up to me at some point, and they never do.
You set up a selfie video on yourself as you're working out, and then you get really pissed at her when she walks through your shot.
So have
Yeah.
you seen that's becoming a thing, like people setting up their phones waiting for someone to do something completely innocuous, like go put weights back where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then they start getting mad at that person.
Yeah.
It's like a whole new cottage industry.
The gym video content culture is hilarious. It's absurd. I saw this one, and I get most of these just from watching Joey Swole
Yeah.
and like his reactions to things. I saw this one girl that was like just sitting on the barbell, like basically like trying to pick it up with her, you know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
Like squatting over the barbell and then sitting all the way down on it. And then it cuts to Joey Swole in his car. He's like, "This is disgusting behavior." He's the best. I love Joey
I
Swole.
love that guy.
Who is he?
I'm
He's
not
like, we
familiar.
don't shame people for trying to improve themselves.
He wait, doesn't he stitch people and like get mad when people are filming, or am I thinking of a different guy?
He gets mad when people are filming, but it's like you can film stuff at the gym, but don't act like you're the center of the
Yes,
universe at
okay,
the gym
that's-
while you're doing it.
Yes, exactly.
So like there'll be somebody that's sitting at one of the machines, and then like a guy will walk in between the camera and the girl that's working out, and the girl will look at the camera and be like, "What the fuck?
She's like, I was filming.
I was filming this." And then Joey Swole's like, "You have no right to claim that entire space at the gym for yourself."
Yeah, I love that guy.
We need to give him like a badge. I would like to see an army of Joey Swoles just like out in the wild, like air marshals, but at the gym.
Yeah.
They're pretending to work out, but in reality, they're just monitoring for social content that steps over the line. Yeah, just don't talk to women at the gym, really. I mean, you can like be friendly and chat if they talk to you. I think we had somebody ask about this earlier, and our recommendation was like, if you're going to have the conversation at all, it should be like at the check-in desk when you guys are both there together, and maybe you can say something and then see if she's into it. But yeah, not a great place.
Yeah, maybe follow her out to her car in the parking lot.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch what car she parks in, and then when she gets out, hop in her car, and then wait in the back seat for her to get back, and then pop up, and then
Yeah.
be like, "So, I like that sports bra."
Oh my god, that'd be so.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, just don't. Just just be like a little less horny at the gym. Or if you are horny, just kind of keep it to yourself.
Yes.
I don't know. Ladies, what do you think? Is there a good productive way?
Not in my opinion. I do think there's a difference between a gym, like going up to flirt with someone. I always tell the guys here, a workout class is a different situation. Like if you're going to like a group fitness class and you go a lot and you see the same person there, like maybe you go at the same time every morning.
Yeah.
And you see the same person there, a group fitness class has more of a community feel to it. And therefore, I feel like if you saw the same cute girl there like 4 days a week,
yeah,
and you kind of, you
strike up a conversation.
Yeah, you strike up a
before
conversation.
Or afterwards.
I feel like a group fitness class is more open to the idea of communication with other patrons than just going to the gym.
So this is kind of how my dad met my mom.
Wait, seriously?
Kind of. So they used to go swimming at the same gym every morning at like the same time. And then a couple times they shared the same lane because, it gets crowded and you have to like share lanes with people.
Mm-hmm.
They shared lanes and then they struck up a conversation afterwards. And then like the next day, my dad was in the gym and he was shooting baskets. And I think he made like 97 out of 100 free throws because he was a sick shooter. And my mom was just like standing and just watching him nail free throws. Oh. And she was like, yes, this is the guy. Look at that jump shot. Look at that sweet J that he's, look at that follow through. Balance, eyes, elbows, follow through. This guy's fundamentally sound.
Mantis is going to love hearing that.
Yeah.
Wow,
Mantis, just
yeah.
go, just
shoots a mean free throw.
Shoot nonstop at the gym and wait for a lady to start talking to you. But yeah, I agree. I think that's good advice. If you do a workout class, then you can talk before or after.
I think workout classes, I go to workout classes and I talk to other girls there sometimes. And like, again, you're going to a community event.
Yeah.
Within that. So like someone talking to you, especially someone you see, I would not do it the first time. You gotta get into like I've seen this person multiple times.
Yeah, they got to know that you're safe. You're
Yes.
a safe person.
Yeah, but I think a group fitness class. Also, I think like group fitness classes are so female dominated most of the time that if you're a guy that goes, most of the time you're going to stick out anyways. Not in a bad way, but like usually it's like 50 girls and then like 2 dudes. So like if you go, you're already kind of like,
What is it about classes that are more enticing to women?
I like being told like, do this.
Yeah.
Like I don't like thinking about what I have to do. And then also pretty much all the classes I go to are Taylor Swift themed.
There you go. Do you ever get sick of Taylor Swift?
There are like I go in and out. I mean, like you listen to her all the time too. I go in and out. Like sometimes I listen to her more than other times in my life.
There has to be at least one song that you're like, I can't listen to this song.
Oh, there
anymore.
are like a lot of Taylor's. I mean, not a lot. There are a couple that I don't like that I'll skip. It's an automatic skip.
Give me a skip.
Robin on
Okay.
the Tortured Poets Department, which is just a bad song. But like, no, the nice thing about Taylor Swift is like she kind of has everything. Like,
What if
for
Robin
everything.
comes on in a workout class though?
I mean, what am I gonna do? Leave?
Do not work out as hard?
Well, that's a slow song, so I probably wouldn't. But like sometimes, like if there's a really good Taylor song that comes on, like I'll go harder.
Okay.
Then
I respect that.
Yeah. But I also just like being told what to do. And like the classes that like Mackenzie and I go to are like spinning classes. Like I don't have a Peloton in my house. So like I have to go somewhere to spin. Or like a Pilates class. Like I don't have a reformer,
Mm-hmm.
It's like things that I can't do on my own.
I like that it's called a reformer. It's good. Yeah. All right. What other questions we got?
Okay. Would you rather have your ex date someone that looks just like you or completely different than you?
Ooh.
Oh, that's so easy.
Completely different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if they look like you, that means that the only problem was yourself.
Yeah.
Like the person you are.
Yeah.
But what if you broke up with them and they're looking for you and other people?
Then I think that becomes creepy. I think if they break up with you, then they date somebody that looks just like you. At that point, you think to yourself, I'm just a system boyfriend. Like there's
Plug and
nothing.
play.
Yeah, there's nothing special about me. I just had the right ingredients that she looks for.
Yeah.
But if you break up with her and then she dates somebody that's like completely different from you, you could almost say to yourself like, she's trying to get away from me as much as possible.
Mhm. Closure.
Yeah. I think that's definitely the right answer.
Donnie?
Yeah, I mean, I've had an ex then immediately start dating someone with the same name. That was kind of weird. Same first name. But yeah, I would go for different because then it's like, oh, we just weren't right for each other. You know, and now she like, we both need to try something completely new.
What about you guys, ladies?
Yeah, I was going to say the same at first because I was like, oh, that's kind of flattering and like they'll never forget me.
Yeah.
But you guys swayed me. And I think, yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be much better if it was different.
Yeah. I also think it's like, yeah, it helps. It's like, yeah, I just wasn't right for them at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like,
Hopefully they're ugly of all things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an ex that started, who is now married to someone else who is like 10 times hotter than me. And that was a tough pill to swallow at first because I'm like, not only does she look nothing like me, but she's like way hotter.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then they got married.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that I think that is what depends the most. Like if they look completely different, but if they look different than you in a good way,
Yeah.
like they've got better hair, they're taller,
Right.
like that's gonna hurt
Yeah.
if she
That's
starts dating
degrading.
like a shorter balding guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's got to be
Yes.
like the exact same level of attractiveness as you are. That's the ideal. Like looks different, but the exact same level. Because if they break up with you, if you break up, and then they start dating somebody that's like really really ugly, then you're like, wait, am I
Wait,
also
where was I?
am I
Yeah,
also
yeah,
really
yeah,
really
that's
ugly?
true.
That's also true.
No, so yeah, I think that is way worse than if they date someone that looks way better than you. Then you're, oh, okay, I get it, I guess.
Well, that's still bad. Where you're like, fuck.
I'd rather ugly.
I think
No,
I'd rather like they can't
no.
they can never get someone as hot as me again.
I
Yeah.
think ideally you want like 1 to 2 points uglier than you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything over 2, then it's like,
Oh god.
No, I don't agree.
Okay.
I agree with PFT.
Why don't you agree?
Because if they date someone that looks better than you, 1, it's like, oh, okay, I guess I don't blame them. And 2, that means you were doing very well.
Yeah, but also aren't you like, I'm just not good looking enough?
That's something
That hurts too.
not nearly as bad as if they date someone who's way uglier.
No, I agree. Just barely uglier than you. That's the perfect scenario, I think.
No, I think barely better than you.
You think 1 to 2 points more attractive?
Yes.
Okay. Embrace debate.
Actually, maybe any scale of better.
Embrace debate. Sound off in the comments. Let us know what you think. This is probably one of those answers that says more about ourselves than it does about
1,000%.
anything
Oh
else.
yeah, for sure.
For sure. Yeah. Like I could use the ego boost. Big T
Yes.
is like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm me.
Yeah, I'm on your side, PFT.
All right. Anything
Yeah.
else from Stiff Socks?
Yeah. What are things men do that cause women to lose interest? But I also want your guys' opinion on it. Does that make sense?
What are things that men do that cause women to lose interest?
But then I want you guys also to be, what do things women do that cause men to lose interest?
Okay. This is a tricky one.
There's a lot.
I would say just like losing your drive is one of them.
That's a big one.
Like if you girls, one thing I know about ladies, and you guys can tell me if I'm way off on this, they like a guy that's got a thing, that's like passionate about whatever it is that they're interested in, right? So sometimes it could be like a real dorky thing or whatever, but they like the idea of a guy that is like dedicated and very passionate towards something.
Yes.
And shows that side of themselves. And if the guy just like kind of loses interest in all that and doesn't have anything that makes him stand out whatsoever, then it just becomes boring. And then I think the girl gets bored and then it leads to bad stuff.
I think that's a big one.
So stay interested in your thing.
Yeah. Or yeah, anything.
Anything. It's a low bar, guys.
Yeah.
Just care about something.
Yes. It's also on that, it's like kind of like sad when you're dating someone and it's like you're their only thing.
Yeah.
And it's like they had nothing before that. Like, it's not like they lost interest in something. It's like you are at the center of their universe, and then you're like, oh God, well, like, what happens if I have like dinner one night? Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah, girls like to be treated like they're special. They like to be taken care of, and they like to think that they're the center of their guy's world. But ultimately, they also want their guy to have other things that are at the center of his world.
A life.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if the guy becomes too obsessed, that could cause the girl to lose interest, right? Doesn't that happen sometimes with the girl, like they kind of like it at least during the dating phase, if the guy's playing a little hard to get and like a little aloof, but then if the guy flips a switch, all of a sudden he's just obsessed over you. Some girls start to get like a little freaked out by that.
Yeah.
I think
I feel like guys more so. I mean, just I don't know, based on my little experience, but like they act like they're so obsessed with you, and then it like drops off from there.
That's that love bombing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also think girls like a little bit of the chase, just a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
Just a small
Tiny
amount,
bit.
a tiny bit of the chase. So
Little.
if we're talking pendulum theory, if she's into you at like a 9, then she likes a guy that is into her like a 7 or an 8.
But
So she's chasing a little bit.
yeah, I also do think though, like relationships are hard to make work if the guy is not as in love or more committed than the girl.
Right.
So I think like, because there's like an emotional gap just I think between genders already. So I think the guy has to be like a little bit more into it to almost like pull that gap together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you don't want a guy that doesn't care.
No.
You don't want a guy that you have to drag everything out of. Just like a small, little, tiny bit of the chase.
Yeah.
They like the chase.
Yeah.
But for guys losing interest in girls, I guess in my experience, it's like if there's like an overwhelming amount of negativity, that can get exhausting too.
Complaining.
Like, well, I'm talking about I've dated a couple psychos before, and always having to like fix something or make something okay.
Yeah.
Like if there's always something broken, and then you have to fix whatever it is before you can just get back to normal with them.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
A couple psychos, huh?
I've dated a couple psychos. Yeah, couple psychos. That's way in the past.
Yeah.
I'm
how,
over psychos.
how much more quickly did the relationship end with the second one than the first? Were you able to recognize the signs of psychosis?
Yes, much faster.
I think once you date one psycho, the signs become a lot clearer.
Yes.
You're like, wait, they did that.
Yeah, it was at the point where I was on high alert, and if like this girl liked the same breakfast that the crazy girl did, I was like, she might be a psycho.
I've had that before. I've had
Red
that before
flag.
where someone could say a phrase a similar way as a psycho, and I'm like, it's like PTSD.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, this girl loves bacon. Oh no, crazy, whatever her name was. She only ate bacon for breakfast. This is not good.
Yes.
Don't go down this road again.
That's funny.
We can bleep it out if you want. Can you give me a list of like 5 names and see if I can identify the psychos from the lineup?
All right, so Big T went 1 for 2. 1 for 2.
It was a list of 4. I knew one was excluded immediately, and I knew one definitely was immediately. It was down to the other 2.
Yep, the one that you excluded, nailed that one.
Yep.
Perfectly normal girl.
Wait, so were all 4 of those real people?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Wheels.
Wheels. They call me the Rizzler. I'm told that's
Do the
an
face. That's a bad Riz face.
I'm told that's a compliment. Anything else, guys? Things that make you lose interest in the ladies?
I've been out of the game so long that it's just like, I don't know. It's tough to.
Yeah, smart man.
Yeah.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're always complaining about something,
Mm-hmm.
like small problems in their own life, it gets a little tiresome
Yeah.
because then that's what like all your conversations become about.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know.
Ladies, do you have any ones that you can think of for yourselves?
That like I do that would make a guy lose interest?
Or just stuff that women do in general that would make a guy lose interest?
I feel like a lot of crying, maybe? Question mark.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what the tears are over.
Getting too drunk at social functions.
That goes both ways, yeah.
Like if you're dating someone, whether it's a boy or a girl, and they're the one that gets too drunk at the party, then you have to take them home.
Yeah, that's a both ways situation.
Yeah, or like getting drunk around your family members.
Yes.
And then you have to like make excuses for them and take care of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That feels personal.
could be.
Yeah. Getting too drunk. I mean, a discrepancy in the amount of drugs you do.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like you have to be on the same, like, again, if you want to do drugs, that is not my, prerogative. Like, you do you. If you and your partner don't do the same amount or hardness of drug, does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, that
I know
makes
what you're
sense.
saying.
Like, say if you like to smoke occasionally, but then your partner's on the couch smoking weed every night,
Yeah.
like that would get a little tiresome.
Or if like you don't do drugs and like your partner is like head,
Yeah.
that's a pretty hard discrepancy,
Yeah.
I think. Or
Or
if
they
like
start hiding stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
like you-
doing it in secret.
yeah, like if you like a mushroom chocolate every once in a while and your partner is doing like ketamine, like
Yeah.
I feel like that's a hard one to kind of like, because you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, I think enjoying the same drugs, it probably helps a relationship a lot.
Is that a weird one?
No, I think that's
Yeah.
that's a legitimate thing, I think.
I've never heard of like a cokehead dating a pothead, really.
Yeah.
I don't think that
You're on
happens a
different
lot.
levels.
Yeah.
Or like a cokehead dating somebody that's sober.
Yeah.
That's not going to work out.
No.
Right. Yeah.
Unless the sober person has natural coke energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Or the sober person's like end goal is like, I'm going to fix this guy and get him off coke.
Yep, that
Yeah.
usually works.
Yeah.
All right, we got time for one more?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want more of a story or do you want a question to answer?
Question.
Okay. How do you make sure your date doesn't sound like an interview or one-sided at first?
I guess I would just ask a bunch of I think this person, if it's a guy, they're too far inside their own head. Because if you go on a date with somebody, girls love to talk about themselves. They love to like explain themselves to people and like say who they are, what their interests are. You have to like contribute, obviously. You have to sprinkle in little things about you here and there. But I think for the most part, if you're asking good questions about her and her life, then she's probably just going to be pumped to answer those because she's going to be like, oh, he's interested in me.
Yeah.
You're saying women be chatting.
Women be chatting. Dude, women love to chat. You know that? Like they'll strike up a conversation with somebody when they're getting coffee and they'll come home and be like, I got a new friend.
Yeah, I think people that do that are nuts.
Yeah, women.
Just but just
Guys don't do that.
yeah, that's true. I can't
my
imagine.
dad does that.
Okay, that's a good exception. I think
Middle-aged men.
Middle-aged men,
Yeah.
absolutely. They 100% do that.
Yes.
Yes.
I can't imagine just striking up a conversation with a stranger.
Yeah.
Just in line to get something like
You think? Yeah. You feel like you're going to get robbed or something. Like what's their
Yeah,
angle
I
here in
don't-
this conversation?
yeah, I don't like that.
It happened to me a couple times when I moved to Chicago, where people like dudes would strike up a conversation as I'm.
But that's because they
moving
know
in.
who you are.
No, it's like people that they weren't familiar with the whole podcast thing, but they would like start a conversation, be like, "What's going on? Why is everybody so friendly here?" Oh yeah, it's because I just moved from New York, where everyone's a dick. They're just being normal.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, New York, if somebody starts a conversation with you on the street, they're trying.
It's probably a psychotic
They're either
homeless person.
a psycho or they're trying to scam money from you,
Yep.
and then they just at the end of the conversation just hand you a CD.
They've got a CD. Yep.
And then you're like, ah, shit, now I have to pay for the CD that
no,
the guy
you
handed
most certainly
me.
do
I know,
not.
I know, but you know the feeling.
Throw it in the trash.
I mean, I think I talked to 1 to 2 women in line for the bathroom at a bar.
Oh, I think that's normal.
Yeah.
About what?
I like your shoes.
Yeah, I like your shirt. Oh my god, where'd you get your purse from? Oh my god. Or like,
Your hair's so cute.
yeah. Oh my god, does anybody have a tampon? Like stuff like that.
But those are all things where you're wanting something.
No, most of the time I'm just like compliment. Like it's just like compliments back and forth.
What if she doesn't compliment you back? What if
I
you're
don't
like,
think
your hair's so
that's-
cute, and they're like, thanks.
No,
Yeah.
I think that's fine. Cause I like, yeah. Cause sometimes it's usually just like a drive-by situation. So I don't have time to like always examine someone.
If you're in line next to a girl for the bathroom and there's absolutely nothing about her that you like, and you're just standing there in silence, the bar's not even that loud, but you're just standing there for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What do you say? Do you lie?
I don't say anything then.
You're not like, I like your belt, even though you think that her belt is secretly like super tacky.
No, I won't. I don't throw compliments just like for the hell of it. They
If
gotta
she
they gotta
said
mean
something,
something.
if she said something to me, I would compliment her back,
Yeah.
no matter
Yeah.
what.
But
You
like,
find something?
Yeah, I would just say like, "Oh, I like your shirt."
but I wouldn't do it just to like talk to someone.
Yeah.
Like I'd just be on my phone or something.
Mhm.
But like if you and I were in the line for the bathroom, be like, "Oh my god, I love your sweater." Like, yeah, because I love your sweater. You have to have meaning behind them. You can't just throw empty compliments out.
Guys don't do that.
Well, no.
Have you
Yeah,
ever
no,
have you ever been like, sick shirt?
I
think if it's like
jerseys.
Yeah, if it's a jersey,
Yeah.
or if it's like a somewhat obscure band that you also like.
Yeah. No, but if you wear a cool jersey and a guy is like, that's a sick jersey, like that's big time.
Yeah, I also like that same guy that you like.
Yeah.
I know who that guy is
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
All right, good questions. Thanks, Stiff Socks. I got to be honest. I was anticipating different questions from the Stiff Socks.
There
podcast.
were a couple that were more stiff socks related that I chose to maybe not.
Okay,
include.
smart.
Yeah.
Smart. Well, thank you for joining us, Donnie.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Anything else you want the people to be on the lookout for?
Well, I have a lot of anxiety about this. So after Turkey, I was like, this is my last chance to do an abroad trip because come New Year's, I won't be traveling. I got a baby on the way. I'm flying from Turkey to India for a week
Yeah.
with very little planned. But I'll be going to Delhi and Mumbai. Had a lot of people. I asked for recommendations. Probably half of the recommendations were don't go.
Okay.
Yeah. India has not been getting a good rep recently online, just on social media and stuff. Like, I feel like every TikTok clip about India I come across, it's like, this is the worst country I've ever traveled in. But I do think it will be great for content. And I've been telling people I'm going to India for 5 years, so it'll be nice to finally scratch that off the list.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that the traffic there is the worst.
Yeah, insane traffic, bad air quality, a lot of people trying to scam you, very dangerous food to eat.
Yep.
That's my biggest concern. I think normally when I travel abroad, I like to try all the local food. I just don't think I'll be doing any street food on this trip.
I've heard it's delicious though. I've heard
Yeah,
that they've got
yeah.
really good tasting street food,
Yep.
but then be prepared to just live on the toilet.
Yeah.
And the toilets are sometimes inadequate from what I've heard.
Mm-hmm. But I'm excited. I found a guy who's going to give me a tour of the largest slum in the world.
Okay.
And I know some other guys that play slum golf. They play like golf in the slum. So I'm going to try to link up with them.
That rocks.
Yeah.
Like the Slumdog Millionaire?
Yeah.
Like that style of a slum?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
That style of a slum. But yeah, I'll check back in on you guys when I get back.
Okay. Good luck, Donnie.
Peace out.
Peace out. I hope everybody comes back with a full head of hair.
Yeah.
Or on their way to a full head of hair.